In the town that I was raised with on the west coast of Canada, there was a child that went missing one day, disappeared into a park. The mother wasn't looking for a second, and he was gone. And every time I go back, I see posters for this child, and I know that the parents are still believing that he's going to come back. And that just haunted me. That story haunted me, and this idea of how people live with that, and this notion of hope and what might have happened to this child, and the imagination and the fantasy. And so it felt like a very strong place to position a story, and to look at how we react to loss and how we need hope.
I have a little daughter myself, so it wasn't too far to imagine. And it seemed like a really interesting exercise. We talk about the stages of grief, but to imagine the stages of powerlessness and all of the different places that takes someone when they have no control.
It must be really difficult for anyone who does this work to survive it. You know, it's just, you from the research into the characters and the people who do this work, there's so little reward. You know, there's a whole speech she does in it where she talks about that. There's no happy endings to what she does. You know, there's millions upon millions of these sites that exist where these types of pictures are being shown, and there's not enough cops. There's just not enough police force. There's just no way. And they're looking at these kids grow older in these photographs as they're trying to track someone. Just like my character, she's watching her going, I think this is an older version of that girl, Cass. And it's just like you're watching the torture gets worse, and it's just horrible for everyone involved.
You know, I do believe if you're going to find a contrast between men and women in this scenario, I do believe that men fear shame more than women, which can be their downfall to some degree, and that shame is intrinsic with emasculation, I suppose. But I don't think that that at least I'll speak for my character. I never felt that he was emasculated. I felt that he was in you know, a shame spiral to some degree. I mean, this happened on his watch. He's carrying this little bag of rocks around with him all day, every second of the day, and he's experiencing the consequences of that. And you know, I think in the end, his redemption is finding his power and finding his voice and believing in himself and seeing that those convictions actually led to something positive. Is in essence, he's regaining his power. But I don't think it's his masculinity necessarily.
Someone you can very clearly eyeball walking down the street and going, that person shouldn't be here. You know, and it's not someone how it usually actually is, where it's a family member, it's a school teacher, it's someone that you're familiar with, it's someone that you know, it's your neighbor, it's someone you work with, it's, you know, so you're watching these conversations between people and they have regular jobs and friends and lives and really nice homes that you'd like to have dinner at. You know, it's not always portrayed, if evil doesn't look like someone standing in the corner with a mustache going, you know, like it would be so easy.
Although he did have a mustache.
Yeah, he did. He did, but not going.
I would say that I was both terrified, horrified, and honored that Adam saw me as a perfect fit for this character. I was pretty scared. I read the J.C. Dugard story, which scared me even more. And then I read several documents that Adam had passed on to me that kept scaring me. But I thought, what a great challenge, and what a journey to take, because I was so scared. Yeah.
Is it terrible to say that we laughed a lot while we were making this movie and having a really great time? It's horrible. Like, it was like, we'd be laughing hysterically, and then he'd go, action, she'd be crying, and I'm holding on to her. Like, it was horrible. I think it was the only way to kind of get through it, though, because it's just,
it is the mark of a terrific director, though, that you have that expanse on the set each day, and you know, I've worked with a lot of directors that, you know, I worked with a director years ago that said, don't blink.
Come on.
And I said, what do you mean don't blink? Can I treat myself to a blink every hour just to lubricate the eyeballs, or I don't understand? And he said it betrays vulnerability. And I just thought, wow, that right there is grade A shit direction. What I love about working on a set like this, though, is that you have that ability to just be everything and be vulnerable, and in a moment that calls for anger, you can actually go the other way, and Adam will sit with it, and he'll tell you, certainly, if he doesn't feel it's the right way to go. But for me, it was a real relief. It was just something that I really needed at that time.
You just blinked 24 times.
I certainly did. I'm a proud blinker.
So, Cate Blanchett, you have just received an Oscar this year, so congratulations on that. Well done.
Thank you for mentioning it.
Merci d'en avoir
I actually
parlé.
have two again.
Jimon Hunsu, vous qui jouez le méchant.
Jimon Hunsu, you play the baddie. Is it good fun to play the baddie?
Absolument. On a tous ce côté
Oh, yes, it
caché en
is.
nous.
We've
avec,
all got a baddie hidden deep inside us, full of our frustrations. But you look like such an angel. To look at you like that, butter wouldn't melt in your mouth.
In this film in particular, Steven Spielberg was a great partner to our filmmakers and very generous with his time and input along the way. I know it was something that Dean really looked forward to. And the best news is we showed the movie Tuesday to Steven in Los Angeles before coming here, and we got the final blessing. He said we were perfecto.
Perfecto.
I mean, other than in fiction, I don't have a huge connection with the North. I think that the UK is a Nordic country, to be honest. So I am from there, but I don't know. It's weird. You get sort of put where you're taken, and I seem to be taken towards dragons, horses, and cold places.
His design from the very, very beginning is he always saw this as a trilogy. And the only thing that we actually have disagreed about is whether, in fact, he can succeed in telling as much story as he has in the third of the trilogy. I think it's going to take him 2 movies to do it. He thinks it's going to take him 1. Other than that, we've agreed on everything for 7.5 years.
We do have a terrific villain at this table that is all known for embracing terrific, strong personalities. So how did it feel to be into this world, the ultimate villain?
I, Drago Bloodfist. I live for blood. It was great fun. It was great fun.
le producteur du film, déjà venu à Cannes en France avec Shrek, Nos voisins les hommes. Et nous retrouvons donc sur le tapis rouge Cate Blanchett, ou Timothée, que vous pouvez également voir sur le côté du palais. Clara Rochal, America Ferreira, et Kit Harington. Voici donc Egoyan, réalisateur de Captive, accompagné de Reynolds, de Scott Spearman, le comédien de Captive.